I'm Linda,
And I'm Melissa.
and we're going to talk about some of those hidden dangers.
Hidden dangers, what kind?
Well, they're not so hidden after all. They're found in the grocery store. They're in several aisles, and they're not so hidden because we use these types of things every day. We bring these dangers in our home. And partly because of advertising, we bring chemicals, cleaning products, personal care products in our home because we're compelled to do that. This advertising is great.
Look at how happy you are if you use Clorox bleach, and look at how beautiful you are if you use Pine Sol.
Oh, it makes you so beautiful and smell good too, and Lysol and Tide Pods. But the reality is, these products that we bring home every day contain hazardous chemicals.
So they're dangerous.
They're a problem. They cause skin irritation. They cause reproductive disorders, aggravation of allergies.
Oh, yeah.
And asthma. That used to be really rare many years ago.
Like 1 or 2 in a school.
Right, and now it's 1 out of 3.
No.
Yeah, and cancer is
Cancer
a
is
big problem. We'll
huge.
talk more about that too. So we already know about pollution.
By the way, that's not chocolate milk.
No, it's not.
Don't drink it.
But, you know, when you're done with your laundry or cleaning your bathroom or washing your hair, where do you think that stuff goes?
Detergent heaven.
Yeah, it goes to detergent heaven, right. Oh, no, unfortunately, there's no detergent heaven. But it does go back into our environment where it causes a lot of damage. But the real problem is the exposure to toxic substances right in our own homes. But the EPA says this is a serious issue. In fact, a product that kills 50% of lab animals through ingestion or inhalation is considered legally non-toxic. But there are 1,500 new chemicals produced every year, and none of them are tested to see how they interact with children. Not
Which is
one.
interesting because when you spray that stuff on furniture or in the air, it drops to the ground. You see the little droplets and they drop right to the
Well,
ground.
they're heavier than air.
Yep, and that's where my children are, is on the floor.
Yeah. And then there's 70 to 80,000 new chemicals that have been introduced to us in this country since World War II.
I like that child right there.
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
a lot of chemicals. We don't even know what they are.
Which is ridiculous.
Most of them aren't even regulated if it's used for household cleaning products.
Well, yeah, and why do we need all of these?
Well, you'd think there would be laws to prevent them from putting them on the store shelf. Aren't they
It's
safe?
my grocery store, and you're putting those chemicals in my grocery store?
Oh, they wouldn't put anything that wasn't safe on the grocery store
No,
shelf, would they?
never.
No, they wouldn't do that. But in reality, yes, they would, and they can because the laws allow it. Let's take a look. The term hazardous chemical, for example, that means any hazardous chemical, blah, 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 under the Title 29 of the Federal Code of Regulations, except that the term hazardous chemical does not apply to the following substances. Let's take a look. Any substance to the extent it is used for personal, family, or household purposes. In other words, they're not classified as hazardous substances. And
So-
also, any person who believes a particular hazardous substance intended or packaged in a form suitable for use in the household or by children should be exempted from full label compliance because of the size of the package.
So I can get the most dangerous chemical out there, put it in a very little package, and I can get it passed
Right,
because
you're exempt.
it's just small.
You're exempt because if you spill your Formula 409 or your Dial soap, which, by the way, is considered a hazard in industry, if you spill it in a warehouse somewhere where you
Right.
work, that's a hazard. But if you spill it in your home, it's not a chemical waste dump.
It's just
It's-
me and my kids.
It's just you. And lastly, any person who believes a particular article should be exempted from being classified as a banned hazardous substance. We're talking about banned chemicals. And they can do this because it bears labeling giving adequate directions and warnings for safe use and is intended to use by children who have attained sufficient maturity and may be reasonably expected to read and heed such direction and warnings. They can submit to the commission a request for exemption. We're talking about the Consumer Product Safety Commission here.
Okay, no
Okay.
offense, but I don't know any child who is mature enough. Shoot, I'm not mature enough. And who is going to read the back of these labels? Look at all those words.
do you read-
and they're about
Yeah.
this small.
Do you read them? Can you?
No.
Can you even read
Who
them?
has time?
Yeah.
I have kids in my cart. They don't want to sit there and read the back of the.
Or when you use it, it's just spray and wipe. We don't need to
Exactly.
read
Who
anything
has
more
time
about
for
it,
that?
right? And look at that label on the bottom there. It says, keep out of reach of children. Well, how are they expected to read and heat it if they're not even supposed to hold the bottle?
Exactly.
So most of these products we use in our home, it says on the label,
hazardous to humans and domestic animals.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it should be in big red bold, right?
Exactly.
It's just
On the front.
Yeah. No, this is magnified many times, so you
This
could
is
read it
insane.
actually. Yeah. And and animals, now we have cancer clinics for dogs.
I know.
So, oh, look at this thing. Sorry, Fido, but Mom's about to clean the house.
You might as well be dead.
Yeah,
I'll
I mean-
outline you now.
Well, and then we have people that feel like, well, I read the label, but my child's not going to drink this. my 8-year-old isn't going to drink this. I'm not going to worry about that. But it's not about drinking. Hardly anybody drinks bathroom
No.
clean. It's about what we inhale. So go ahead and use your chemicals in your home. Just do not breathe while you're using them.
Yeah, just
or
don't breathe
after.
at all.
In fact, they're in the air for like 4 hours after you clean. But they're inhaled and they're absorbed through our skin. And now I want to talk about formaldehyde for a minute because it's really common. Mm-hmm. It's used in almost every cleaning product.
See it. It's in all of these pictures.
Personal care products.
Deodorant?
Yeah, and formaldehyde,
Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo?
it is a real problem because it's super cheap and it keeps the product stable. It's a preservative, and they're storing these products in warehouses for who knows how long. So they got to use the formaldehyde, and it's causing headaches, migraines, allergies,
Asthma. We
Asthma.
talked about that earlier.
right?
Depression.
Depression. Who would have thought that your deodorant would cause depression?
Exactly.
And people spray this in the air like with air fresheners.
Lysol in the cribs.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And so you're inhaling it. It's causing so much more problems than good. Anyway, yeah, ear infections in children, autoimmune disorders. Look at all of those.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And cancer. We've talked about that too. But here's the
Hide.
products that have been found to have the highest formaldehyde content. You should definitely not use these. And look at this Dawn dish soap.
These are common
I used
products.
to love
Look,
Dawn
they
dish
still
soap.
have the little animal on the front because they've used it when the
Right,
oil
the clean.
spills.
That's too bad. They didn't do long-term research to find
No,
out the
they
results
should.
of that. But I used to love Dawn. Yeah, but
Reason.
I had kids with irritability and asthma and headaches. It wasn't until I got rid of that stuff that the problem stopped.
She got rid of the Dawn, not the children.
Right. But Dial soap, lots and lots of products. Anything from, a lot of things from Colgate or Palmolive, Clairol,
In your mouth, on your face.
Revlon, Amway, Alberto Culver. Well, there's so many products out
Dripping
there.
down your back from your hair.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's a bowl of candy.
Oh, the Tide Pods, yeah.
Yep. You wouldn't know it wasn't
Well,
if you
yeah.
were a child.
It looks like candy. It does to me.
Bright colors.
Well, the sad thing was that a child last year thought it was candy and put it in their mouth and died
Which is horrible.
from a Tide Pod. Yeah,
That's
sometimes
terrifying.
the law banned many of these products from using phosphates. There's other products that are allowed to use them still, but laundry detergents couldn't use them. So they had to replace it with something called NTA, or sodium nitrotriacetates.
Okay.
And so that's what we got to deal with now. And a comprehensive report by the National Cancer Institute determined NTAs to cause cancer.
No.
And we found NTAs in Tide, Cheer, Oxidol, and Bold laundry detergents and more. Why would we bring something in the home
Ignorance.
that would hurt us? Recent studies have shown that because of household cleaning products, women who work indoors have a 55% higher risk of dying from cancer.
Wow.
Cancer is now the leading cause of death in children
Yes.
between ages 6 and 12.
Yes, that is terrifying. Yep.
We're doing it to our kids and we don't even know it. Some of the most recent cancers affecting children have been 100% linked to hazardous chemicals. And the EPA now claims that household disinfectants, we disinfect because we think it's a good thing. But we know from the EPA that disinfectants are endocrine disruptors. So when you're exposed to them over and over again, like we are,
Right.
then when it messes with your endocrine system, let's take a look at our endocrine system. That contains a lot of stuff like thyroid and adrenal glands and, your reproductive organs. Well, take a look.
So basically you're saying it's easier to gain weight.
If you mess with your thyroid,
Definitely.
you're going to put on weight. It's not just the food you eat, it's also the chemicals you're inhaling. So maybe for you it'll just be, I just feel irritable more often than not. Or maybe it'll be, I just feel kind of down more often than I used to. But everyone's affected. So, and now on top of that, we're talking still about disinfectants.
Okay.
The EPA has also classified disinfectants as pesticides.
Oh.
So let's talk about chlorine for a minute, because that's used in automatic dishwashers, scouring powders, and all that. And that has long-term health consequences.
Well-
We see chlorine's ability to remove stains, and we get dirt out of our laundry and brighten our whites.
Well, yeah, look
Whiter
at
whites.
white and pretty and ready to go.
It works.
We see it and go, oh, that's clean.
Oh, yeah. It's America's darling.
Uh-huh.
But the evidence scientists have gathered tells us it shouldn't be. Far from being America's best chemical friend, chlorine is something we should stop using right now. Organochlorines, we have to talk a little bit about science because you know I love science so
yay.
much.
I was kind of hoping
I know.
we could
No,
skip this,
I'm
but
a
okay, go
science
ahead.
person. I love science. Anyway, I'll try to make it short, but you got to know about this. Organochlorines are a large class of organic chemicals.
Oh, good. They're good ones. Organic is good.
Well, in an apple, but when we're talking about chemicals, then organics mean not friendly, not good.
Okay.
So these organochlorines, these organic chemicals, can be found in everything from plastics like PCBs, pesticides, cleaning products. But as useful as organic chlorines appear to be, they are the single most hazardous classes of compounds ever created.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and scientists have found that exposure to organochlorines can create cancer.
Oh, wait a second. Not make it worse, but
No.
actually create it
Created
from
out of nothing. Because organochlorines are extremely stable, they remain to trouble us for a long time, up to 2,500 years in some cases. And you know what organochlorines love most? They love human fatty tissues, and they easily enter them and build up. You can't get rid of it.
Ever.
So the trick here is to never inhale. Small amounts of organochlorines are also formed wherever chlorine bleach is used. So now we're getting down to the bottom of it. Chlorine is a toxin. Hello. It causes permanent damage. It kills living cells. Okay, EWG's Hall of Shame, worst offenders, yeah.
Simple Green?
Yeah, worst offender, most toxic. They use the same carcinogens, but they don't put adequate labeling at all. They lead you to believe it's safe. And banned overseas, look at that spick
Wow,
and span, scrubbing bubbles. This is just an example. The American Lung Association has already said these are asthma-causing ingredients. You don't want a child to have asthma? Stop spraying the stuff that causes
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
On the other hand, research has found that peanut butter is relatively safe.
Yeah, look at. Hi, Mom. Yes, yes. This is when I call my husband in. Honey, your child wants you.
Yeah, unless you're allergic to peanut butter.
Oh,
but
my
the
goodness.
things kids get into. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
they get into everything.
They do. They think it's fun.
Yeah.
They smear it all over themselves.
So, you know, in my home, I was so glad that somebody told me how to make my home a safer place for my kids. So anyway, the EPA has been warning us for years that these chemicals in our home are putting us at really high risk. So let's take a look at the World Watch Institute. This is the state of the world. So back to pollution. Fact, life in our oceans has been damaged more by the runoff of household detergents and solvents. We're talking about our cleaning products and our shampoo and all that, more than all the oil spills combined. But the far bigger problem is what we're dumping down our drain every
Yep.
single day.
Because they cleaned it up.
Well, who's going to clean up the mess we're dumping down every day?
No one is.
Oh, we need to use bleach in the shower, and we dump it down the drain, and it is killing life in our oceans.
Yep.
The fact is there are 70 to 80,000 chemicals in use today. They cause cancer, they're carcinogenic, and damage our immune and nervous systems, and so much more. And the fact is, it's up to us, really,
Yes,
to
it is.
choose the responsible manufacturers. The choices we make directly affect our health, our environment, and even our economy.
Oh.
We really, really hope that you understand the importance of some of the things we've been talking about today. We want to help. And we hope that you want to help others just like somebody helped us.
Yes.
So thanks for listening.
Thank you.